Mein Freund, wie geht's?
Guten Morgen, sehr gut. Ja.
Oh, sehr gut, danke. We could have done it in German. I would have understand everything, but my talking would be shit.
It's the same with me in English. My English is not the best, but
La, but it's a lot better than mine is German.
it's with Swedish accent, so no problem.
All right, my friend, we are here talking for the first time in a long time. Last time we spoke, we were together in Scotland. We played a few first team games, but a few, believe it or not, reserve team games in Scotland. And now here you are, Adrian, as a Bundesliga player. Let's just start with your journey. I mean, I often refer to you in the podcast because I think it's so inspirational to see that you were a young player at the time, like you said before we went on here. Um, and 5 years later, after we last played together, you're now playing in the Bundesliga. Can you just reflect on that journey you've been on since then?
Yeah, I think it's not a typical journey to come into the Bundesliga because, like you said, like 5 years ago, we played together in Scottish Premiership, uh, more in the reserve team than in the first team. So if someone would have told me that I will play Bundesliga in 5 years, I mean, everybody around would have said, no, that's impossible for you. But after Scotland, I was thinking about what's the best step to make and. For a young player like me, it was getting playing time somewhere else. So I moved back into the fourth division in Germany to Ulm, like a club I have been played before I moved to Belgium and Scotland. And then, yeah, in Ulm, my season went very good. So I was like 23 or 24 at this time, and I've said to myself, I will try my best and give everything because it was my last year of contract in Ulm to try it my best, play a good season, and I will see where I can go. And then the first half season went very good. So Heidenheim came already after the half of the season and said to me that they want to that they are interested and they don't want me to extend my contract in Ulm because they want me to sign in summer. And then already in January, I signed for the second Bundesliga team. At this time, Heidenheim was. So I went to Heidenheim because I had a few options, but Heidenheim, I had very good talks with the boss, with the club, and they were known for getting players from lower leagues in Germany and develop them into the first team and into the second Bundesliga. And this is how it went. I went there. I didn't expect that it goes so well because my first game in the second Bundesliga, I was sitting on a bench like 90 minutes. I was thinking, okay, step from step to step, I have to go, and then already on the third Spieltag,
Yeah, yeah. Third match day.
third match day. Yeah, I have been in the starting 11, and then from this game on, I played like every game till I got an injury in my tendon. But this season went very good, and also in this season we went up in the Bundesliga in my first season,
Can
second
you but
Bundesliga.
explain that because you got promoted. So Heidenheim's story is fantastic, as we know, and spent 5 seasons in the Dritte Bundesliga, then got promoted and even played for the promotion playoff against Bremen in the 2019-2020 season. So I guess you're coming to us now we see it as like a smaller club, but even still, in terms of how they performed, it was pretty impressive. But in terms of those expectations coming to Heidenheim and that last match day when you get promoted, scoring 2 goals in overtime, and then against Jan Regensburg. I mean, it's like explain to me how that was being part of that season up until the very end where you got promoted, because it's like a fairy tale.
Yeah, at first I have to say Heidenheim played a few good seasons before I came to them, but they never really had the chance, except from the promotion game against Bremen, to go up in the first Bundesliga. And I think the club is so small, and the other clubs in the second Bundesliga are so big, like Hamburg and everybody, that you can't say at Heidenheim that you want to promote in the first Bundesliga. But in that season everything went so well. if you look at the last game, I think we were 2-1 down in Regensburg. We have been in the I think the promotion place in the table, and then I came on in the 70th minute. I think it was 2-1 for Regensburg. I was thinking about, oh no, we have to go in promotion games against Stuttgart. This would be very hard, and as you saw, Stuttgart beat Hamburg in the promotion games easy. So I think for us it wouldn't be that easy as well. We would have lost maybe also against Stuttgart because they were very good at this time. And then like I came on in the 17 minutes. I believed in my head if we maybe score a goal there can be something possible. And then in the 95th minute, I think we got a penalty. We made it 2-2, and the ref said it's like 4 or 5 minutes to go. We just need one chance, maybe to get this goal we need to promote. And then I can remember this. I have still goosebumps when I think about this moment because the cross came in. All the defenders like want to get the ball away and nobody could shoot it away. And then Kleindienst was on the far post and he just hit it into the net. And then the emotions were incredible because even at that time, Hamburg was already celebrating their promotion to the Bundesliga because they were thinking about getting up in the Bundesliga because our game ended 2-2, and then we managed to score the 3-2 in the last second of the game, and everybody was like, "Whoa!" We couldn't believe it. Some were crying,
Fantastic.
some were crying on the field. I was just smiling because yeah, it's still unbelievable, and I think this moment in my football career or in everybody's career in our team, it's very hard to top that because from the emotions in the last second of a game to get promoted into the Bundesliga, it's yeah, still unbelievable.
And then you go on to the play in the Bundesliga, and everyone looks at you as this extreme underdog, small club, 15,000 seater stadium, etc., etc. And then you guys go up to finish eighth, qualify for Europe. How did that come about? Because I'm sure you going into that season are thinking, we need to stay up, etc. Let's see what we can do. But explain what was the feel at the club? Why do you think it went so well last season? And maybe even talking about Frank Schmidt as part of that in terms of bringing that team to its very best of capacities.
Yeah, I think before the season starts, everybody was saying, okay, Heidenheim and Darmstadt will go down for sure because it's just a small club. They should not play in the Bundesliga. They are not good enough to play in the Bundesliga. And this is, I think, what makes our coach so ambitious. The media and the people around the club who don't believe what we can achieve. And we showed them all the haters who thought that we will go down for sure. We showed them that we can achieve something very big. Of course, nobody thought that we will finish on the eighth place in the Bundesliga. But even to stay in the Bundesliga was, I think, even that big as the promotion to the Bundesliga for the club like Heidenheim, because as you said, it's a small club with only 50,000 inhabitants, and it was like not easy to stay in the Bundesliga. But from the beginning, we started very bad. I think last season we lost the first two games, but we saw that we can play at this level, but we didn't get any points in the first time of the season. And then I think the third match day was in Dortmund. We were 2-0 down after 10 minutes. I was on the pitch and I was thinking they will beat us with 7, something like this. But then we managed to get this game into 2-2 and we got a draw. It was our first point in Bundesliga. I think this was a game changer for us because we have seen that we can play at this level and we can also compete with teams like Dortmund. And from this moment on, I think we started to get grab more and more points. And yeah, the team spirit in Heidenheim is incredible. I think we have to stay humble and say that the other teams like, of course, Leipzig, Leverkusen, even like Frankfurt, Freiburg, they have much more quality than we in our team. individual players and everything, but I think the familiar spirit in our club and our team is incredible, and I think we grab a lot of points with that spirit because, as I said, the individual quality in the other teams is much higher, but you can achieve a lot if you compete together in Heidenheim. This is incredible because like I said, also in the second Bundesliga, there were much better teams, but with a good team spirit like we have, you can achieve a lot. And this was, I think, the biggest reason, together with our coach, that we finished eighth place last year. Even though we managed to finish on the eighth place in the last match day of the season, like the last second, because Union Berlin scored
That's right.
against Freiburg in the overtime, I think, and then we were looking at each other and saying, "Hey, we will play in Europe next season." So yeah, it was the last 2 years were incredible. So I can't even tell enough stories because all the things were.
But is it a case of you looking in the changing room, you looking at each other, thinking, "Are we actually doing this?" Or was there like you said, there is this self-belief that you just keep on going, or is it just enjoying the journey and say, "Wow, actually, oh look, we got promoted. Oh, we
I
qualified for
think
Europe. Oh, we won our first game in Europe, etc."
I think it's a mix of both because sometimes we look at each other and we say, "Yeah, look at the media this year again." They will say Heidenheim lost a few important players, like 40 goals we lost this season in the summer. They can't even stay in the Bundesliga this season because they lost their most important players. We go down again like last season, but as you see, we managed to get 3 wins from the first 6 games, and we are looking at each other and think, oh, this season maybe will be very hard for us, but. All the years, the coach, I think, if you look at his story, he just develops from step to step. There was never a phase in his career, I think, where he goes down. It's
Hmm.
he always managed to go up, and we were thinking about there must be a phase coming where all the things are not working like that, but he still managed that this phase will not be there, and I hope that we enjoy the ride what we are on right now for a long time, and we still manage to don't get negative phases. Of course, we have games like we lost 2 or 3 games in a row, but there are never games like 6 or 7 games we lose in a straight way. But
Yeah, and
yeah,
even the last game against Leipzig, you lose 1-0, but you could have easily
yeah,
gotten a result from it,
and
right?
yeah, I think we deserved more than losing against them, maybe 1 point even. But yeah, it's not that bad. We still have 9 points after 6 games, but we should have managed to get at least 1 point from this game. But now
But
it's international break, and we are very happy with the season as it went so far. Because even in Europe we won every game, like in the playoff games against Häcken and now the first game against Ljubljana.
But let's
So
talk about that because you score in the game against Olympia Ljubljana. The first you qualify, obviously you beat Häcken, and then you beat them. You scored the first goal. For your sake, is it a matter of like you said? Obviously, you were at Hoffenheim, you were at Ulm, you went to Union Saint-Gilloise in Belgium, you played Scottish Premiership, but nonetheless, you're talking about Frank Schmidt's constant development, but your constant development, right? Taking step by step by step, playing the fourth Bundesliga, Zweite, Bundesliga, European football. How has that been for you to kind of manage those levels? Because you're not the only one in the squad, I'm sure, who has to deal with that. It's other players who are playing at the highest levels of their career as we speak. How do you get used to that?
yeah, I think I went to Heidenheim with no expectations. I knew that it will be hard for me to come two leagues up because I came from the fourth to the second division. But I have to say, really, the football level was not that different. It's just the athletics, like the speed, the intensity of the game. It's something very different, and I have to adapt to that. And it went very fast. So my coach told me what I should have done better, and after the preseason, and I adapt to that things, and so he gave me playing time, and I made a few good games, so I had a good trust from him, and yeah, from that thing on, I always had a lot of games, and if you have games and trainings at that level, you adapt with the time. Of course, it needs a little time. Every year we get players from lower divisions, and you see that they have problems in the first time because the intensity and even the preseason with our coach is very hard.
Is
So
it
after
typical German preseason?
yeah, but I've never had something like that because every year it's so funny to see when new players arrive. We tell them, we have to see what you have to say after the first week with our coach, because maybe you are thinking about getting back to your old club when you when you see that what you have to do in training by us. But yeah, everybody get used to that, and of course we have a very high intensity in our game, and I knew that I could go that because my lactate and everything was all the time very good, and I can run a lot. And in our club, it's very important to go a high intensity. And then, like you said, I had also problems in my first Bundesliga games because the difference between second and first Bundesliga is also I think it's much more bigger than from the fourth to the second, uh, than from the second to the first, because the quality in the first is very different to the second. The individual quality of the players is like crazy. If you play against Bayern, Leverkusen, or Leipzig, they all have players like they are world stars. So it's very hard to play against them, but you also get used to that. I also had problems in my first games, but with time, from time to time, you get used to that. And now this season it started very well for me. Like you said, we also played some European games. We nobody knew what will come to us, what we will face, because there are also teams you never faced in your career, like Ljubljana, like Häcken. You cannot imagine how they play, what type of playing style they have, and of course, if you see on the paper German Bundesliga against Slovenian league, German Bundesliga must win this game, but it's not that easy because it's a different type of football. I think it's also when we play against Hearts. Like for me, it's going back to Scotland. They play a different type of football, so you cannot say that we are a favorite in this game because the German Bundesliga is better than the Scottish league.
Mhm.
As you can see, Frankfurt managed to play 3-3 against Victoria Pilsen in the Europa League, and then played 3-3 against Bayern. So
That's a
you
good point.
cannot say. So it's hard to imagine how is the quality of the opponents in the European games, but I love to play against them, and I love to see and travel through Europe to get these games. So
It's fantastic. And you're playing
I
against
could have never.
Chelsea amongst others as well.
Yeah, this is a big highlight, of course, but also our other games like flying to Scotland, playing against Hearts, flying to Istanbul, playing against Istanbul. Yeah, also Cyprus and all the games. Yeah, maybe we managed, and I hope we managed to go through the group stage and go into KO games, because I think that might be also something very interesting
Yeah.
you've never experienced before, playing KO games in European football.
That'll be fantastic. Just towards the end here, before we'll do a little quick fire, because I want to hear some of the players and stadiums you've been in. But lastly, we have a few Bayern listeners as well. Obviously, you have Paul Wanner on loan. A lot of things expected from him. What can you say about him in terms of having played with him and training with him on a day-to-day basis? How would you describe him as a player and a person, I guess, as well?
Yeah, I think as you could have seen in the first games, Paul Wanner is a big talent. I think in a football way, he has a lot of qualities. I think his playing style of football is, for his age, is really good. I've never seen I've never played with a guy at this age who has been that good already in this young age. But I think he has a big future ahead of him. he just needs to stay himself because he's a very humble guy. He's not living in a different world. He's just you can speak to him like yeah. I cannot describe because he's so good and he just needs to stay like that. And I think yeah, he will have a very big future ahead of him. But yeah, he has to develop like his body and his physical strength because in his football way he has not to develop anything because he already has everything.
Hmm. He needs some lactate levels that you have, I think.
Yeah, and I think Bayern made a good step with Heidenheim for him because he gets a lot of playing time here, and he's only 18 years old still, and he plays every week like Bundesliga, and
Hmm.
now he he's making his first appearances for German under 21 today, I think. Yeah,
And the same goes for, because you mentioned there, you lost a lot of goals and assists from last season in Kleindienst, who went to Gladbach, Beste, who went to Benfica, and then Dinci, who went to Freiburg.
yes.
And but at this point of speaking, Germany are going to play this evening, and it looks like that at least Kleindienst will get his debut for the German national team, which is, I guess, the ultimate kind of pinnacle of Heidenheim and Kleindienst's story that he's now going to start potentially for Germany.
Yes, incredible. If you look where we came from, like Beste came also in the year to second Bundesliga team in Heidenheim, where I went to Heidenheim. And in the same, we went up in the Bundesliga, and then in the Bundesliga he played good, and he was also nominated for the German national team, but he had to he had to cancel it because he got an injury, and
Hmm.
now Kleindienst got called up for the German national team. Dingshi got called up for the Turkish national team. So you have to see, we came from the second league, just play one season in the Bundesliga, and we already have German national team players, or they were called up. I think Kleinitz might get a game today, of course. I'm excited to see that, but it's incredible when you look where Heidenheim came from, and now they made like national team players.
Fantastic.
The club, yeah. I think Paul Wanner also could play for Germany or Austria. So it's incredible, yeah, for the club like Heidenheim that in the national break we now have players who go to the national team. It's
Hmm. Fantastic. And just lastly here, we're going to go a little quick fire. So I'm going to ask you around 8, 9 questions, and you just give the first answer that pops to mind. Are you ready?
yes,
Best player you've played with.
Niklas Beste.
Best player you've played against.
Very different, a very difficult question. I think I might have say, oh, good.
A lot of them, huh?
Yeah, a lot of them. I think Leroy Sané was incredible in Munich last year against us.
Yeah, he's at his best. He's
Yeah,
fantastic. Favorite football memory?
favorite football memory. It's my game in Regensburg.
Understandable. Best stadium or best stadium atmosphere?
Oh, I think Dortmund is very good, but I also have to say Köln was incredible because I also scored my first Bundesliga goal in the stadium, but I love the fans and
Mm.
they are incredible in Köln. But I also have to say Ibrox because I remember this game. I
That
love
game was fun for
I
a
love
minute because we got out there that wow, Ibrox is fantastic, and then you realize you didn't have any of the ball.
I thought we were playing against 14 men because we were just running behind the ball. It was
I remember that
but I
game.
love the stadium. It was
Yeah, yeah. No, it was fantastic. It's the most I played in front of. I think it was 50,000. So it
yeah,
was fantastic. Favorite German player growing up?
favorite German player growing up. I say Bastian Schweinsteiger.
Most underrated player on the Heidenheim team?
The Heidenheim team. Huh? I would say Patrick Mainka.
The captain?
Yes.
One skill of any player from the Bundesliga you wish you had. So any skill that you could take from any Bundesliga player.
The speed of Adeyemi.
Okay, okay, fair enough. Yeah, yeah. And maybe his goal scorer at this point in the form that he is in. And
Yeah,
then lastly, if you got any player from the Bundesliga be transferred to Heidenheim, who would it be?
I think Harry Kane.
Harry Kane.
Yeah,
How
because
is he to just lastly, how is he to play against? How have you kind of how do you observe him, analyze him and his impact in the Bundesliga and for Bayern?
yeah, like last season when he plays against us, it's very hard to say because there are like times in the game where you can't see him, and then from nothing to to
Everything, I guess.
one situation he's there and just scores a goal. It was incredible, but yeah, his qualities are very very good, and he's a very good goal scorer. So it's very hard to defend him because yeah, like I said, maybe there are 20 minutes in the game where you can't see him, and then just 1 minute where he's there, and yeah, he scores.
But you still beat them last
Yeah,
season.
yeah, at home yes, but away game. This is where Leroy
Different.
played at this level. He was incredible in this game. This is where I said Leroy Sané was so good. But yeah, Harry Kane is also an unbelievable striker.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time. I know you have a few days off with the international break, but so good to catch up again, and to catch up and follow your journey, and then that hopefully for people to share in this journey and follow you in Heidenheim, which I know a lot of people are a fan of. But for now, Adrian, thank you so much for joining the Football Channel.
Thank you as well. It was very nice to see you again, and yeah, I wish you all the best.